Many people procrastinate, and I guess it's just a human nature to procrastinate. And like, for example, when someone takes a test, they didn't prepare the night before, or maybe even weeks before. So once they take the exam, they get the results back, and they're not really surprised because they know they could have gotten a better grade. So I do agree with Ulster's quote, "The best preparation for tomorrow is to do today's work superbly well." So the way I interpret this is, if you prepare before, you should expect the results that, you know, you put the effort into. So I do have many examples. For example, at work, I do make nurses' schedules, and if I do it well, I avoid problems the next day. Another example is exams. For example, if you don't study, you're gonna see the results. And the third example is just life in general. If you prepare for life, you pretty much have guidelines for the future. So for work, my example for work is, personally, I work at St. Joseph's Home Health. So my job is to make schedules for the nurses to go out and see patients at their homes. The thing is, when I do that, I have to work with the nurses in order to suit the patients' schedules, because if they don't suit the patient's schedules, they end up calling sick, and the nurses who called sick, I would have to find other nurses to pick up their schedules, which then just screws me over, you know. And then another example is exams. For exams, like I said before, if you don't study, you're just gonna, you know, like, you're gonna see the results, the end results, and you guys aren't gonna be happy with that. So if you prepare yourself the night before, or even weeks before, when you take the test, you'll be confident, and you'll know that you actually put the effort into studying, and you'll probably get good grades. And then lastly, in life, if you just prepare and just, you know, follow, pretty much do what you do, like in school and stuff, get good grades, you pretty much set guidelines for your future, and pretty much you'll hopefully become successful. So I do agree with Ulster's statement. The best preparation for tomorrow is to do today's work superbly well. So if you do prepare for life, you should be successful.
So we just have to make a comment on the YouTube page, or what do we do? Comment, like, what do I?
I'll tell you in just a second. Thank you for the question. I was just about to get started on his feedback, so, and then I'll answer your question. The greeting was fine, and you've got a statement of your point of view. I think that works pretty well. I thought you had an excellent transition to the quote and a very clear interpretation of what you're saying. At first I thought you were diving right into the speech, and I thought, oh my gosh, you went through those very quickly. And then I realized, okay, that's actually the preview, so I relaxed a little bit. But I'll tell you what, the supporting points, they don't develop as much as I thought they were going to. The first one, you've probably got a good example here, but you're not thinking of it. You know, it's staying at a hypothetical level. You need a nice story to tell. I mean, if you were talking to one of the nurses that you were scheduling and talking about, look, last week I had this problem with so-and-so, and they couldn't get to the thing, and I had to find 3 different people to replace them. it would be much more natural. As it is, you're trying to keep it at this abstract level, and it doesn't really mean very much. And the same thing is true, for instance, on your other examples. I'm sure that you'll think of one of those tests that you took where you weren't very well prepared, or one where you really were well prepared and it came out exactly as you planned on it, and you could tell that story. So I like the ideas that you have. I think that you've got good basic support here. They just need to develop a little bit more so that you've got something a little more substantive to say. Presentation, you're not having any problems that I can tell. Your voice projects very well. It's pretty smooth the whole time you're speaking. I thought your gestures were very solid in the presentation. Your facial expressions got a little bit more animated in the second half of the speech. So you might watch, I don't know, at first you're very serious and you're trying to be engaged with the audience, but then when you started talking about the examples, or at least trying to talk about the examples, you smiled a little bit and engaged people a little bit more. So see if you can pick that up when you're watching it back. Eye contact, at the first minute or so of the speech, I got great eye contact. I didn't think anybody else was getting any eye contact. But then again, same sort of thing. About the same time, it seemed like you suddenly came off of your toes a little bit. At the beginning of the speech, it felt like you were leaning forward and you're focusing on me the whole time that you were speaking. And then in the second part, you kind of relaxed a little bit and were talking to everybody else. And I think that that's more the way you want to be. I thought you had an excellent summary and exit line at the end of the speech as well. All right.